This video is going to be a little bit different. By the way, welcome back. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. And thank you. I got some recent new subscribers. And thank my old subscribers. Guys, thanks for coming and watching. Also, like a shout out to my brother. My brother has a fairly decent sized YouTube channel called Sensible Preppers. Sensible Preppers. I'll put a link down in the description and you can take a look at his stuff. He's got some really good stuff if you want to get prepared for whatever. I mean, dude, the zombie apocalypse, it's coming. He has a really good channel. He did a live stream today and he mentioned me and my site. A couple of his guys came over and subbed and watched some of my videos, and you guys, welcome. You Sensible Preppers, great to have you, and I hope you enjoy the content. I got to thinking about this. When we're out there, and I've been really giving this serious consideration, you know, a lot of times I'm out there waiting someplace, a couple of miles from the road, off the trail. Anything could happen, guys. Anything. And so I'm starting to get in a serious, I mean, I already do a lot of stuff, being prepared for something really bad happening. It made me think a little harder. I've added a few little things, my tackle bag, and what I carry on my boat. I just wanted to say, think about it. You're out there, think of what could go wrong, what are you going to do, and by all means, before you go out in the woods by yourself, let someone know where you are and have them say, hey, if you don't hear from me by 9 p.m. or whatever, you know, call the park ranger, or call somebody, okay? Or send somebody out to go find you, all right? Be thinking about that. Be careful out there. The other week when I almost stepped on that timber rattler, and that got me thinking, man, what if I'd have been 2 miles out back somewhere and that happened? You guys be careful out there. Anyway, this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to start this off with story time. At the end of 2019, I decided I was going to go down to South Florida. And then there was a place in the northern glades that I wanted to hit where the nearby campgrounds were, because this was going to be in February of 2020, right before the pandemic hit and everyone lost their ever-loving minds. So I get down to the point to where, okay, I got to find some, this is just south of Lake Okeechobee, okay, in that area. And if any of y'all have been down there, there is nothing. There is nothing but agriculture. There's just miles and miles of... I found this place I wanted to fish. It wasn't a canal, but it was theoretically a secret spot. From a guy made a video, was catching a lot of largemouth bass, big bass out of it. Found the closest campground. It was like 4 miles away. Perfect. I went on their website because I wanted to get, you know, when I do a trip, I'm by myself, I leave an agenda. Like, this day I'm going to be staying here, and I'm going to be fishing this area, blah, 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 blah. So it's like I tell my daughter, I say, at least you'll know where to send the cadaver dogs if Daddy doesn't come home. So I was getting the addresses and phone numbers of the campgrounds, you know, to leave for my loved ones that will, you know, have to do the funeral arrangements after the alligators eat me. Or the mosquitoes drain me completely of blood. And on the front page of their website, now gotta understand this, there was no campgrounds anywhere around. This was the only one, and it was perfectly situated, the place I wanted to fish. I was looking on the website, and there's a picture. The front page is a picture of a pool with a bunch of people in it, like 40 people in this pool. Okay, cool, they got a swimming pool. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to be fishing. I'm just going to be there to sleep. You know, I don't care. I go to click on the contact address information, and something hit me. I went, something odd about that picture. There was just something, and I didn't know what it was, and so I went back to the front page, and I looked at the picture of the pool with all these people. And I noticed there were no children. There were no women. It was a bunch of dudes. And I thought to myself, maybe it was a group, you know, like a club. Like, for example, church I go to. the men, they get together once a year, they go to the beach, or they go wherever, okay? I didn't think, no, it just didn't. So, I scroll down, and at the bottom, this campground has won an award. #1 best, 2017, from some magazine. Not a magazine I read. Best gay campground, 2017. Now you got to understand something. I bear no ill will to gay people. I just don't care. It's none of my business. Judging is above my pay grade. Okay, I've worked with plenty of very professional. I don't care. Okay, man, as long as it's adult and consensual, it's none of my business. It's none of my business or anybody else's. I don't care. But I was thinking, Derek, conservative Christian, I'm going to stay at a gay campground. I'm like, I don't care. So I emailed the guys who owned it, and I said, hey, can y'all put up with a with a conservative Christian for about 3 nights? They thought it was hilarious, and great guys. Just anyway, they got a big kick out of it. So I went. I made reservations and I went, and so this is the best part. This is the best part. I get there at the gay campground. I'm not worried, and I go to sign in. One of the guys says, "Oh, you're the guy that emailed. You're the conservative Christian." And I said, "Yeah." They were like, they just thought it was hilarious. And I said, "Yeah," and they put me back in a corner away from everybody. And so guy shows me a map, and he's like, "Okay, Mr. Porter, you're right here at campsite number 10. I said, "Okay," and he shows me the rest. He says, "Well, the pool's over here, and this is over here." And he says, "You see this red line?" I said, "Yeah, sure." He says, "If you cross the red line, it's clothing optional." Guys, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. I looked him right in the eye, and I went, "Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Thank you so much." So I stayed on my side of the red line. I don't want to see no junk hanging. But anyway, I had a great stay. There was one guy right down the road from me a little bit, and we got to talking. And a really nice guy. We solved some of the world's problems one night. Great guy. Had a good time. But yes, I stayed at a gay campground that was clothing optional. That was funny, and I have never gotten more ribbing from that. I have gotten so much. Anyway, that's story time. Now, let's switch gears. Okay, I'm gonna put up some pictures and I'm gonna put up some video as I talk about this. So Saturday, I went on a recon mission. Went on Google Earth. There's a smallmouth river that I know has got fish. It's very good. It's very well known. But I'd only fished just a few little stretches of it, and I wanted to expand. And I also wanted to look at canoe put-ins, and I'll just put it like this, guys. I found some places in the river that are not worth fishing. That's part of a recon. When you don't know, you can pick out, and that's what I did. And I'll put a picture up. And here's a section of river that, if you look at it, you see the blue line. That's the road. You see my little car parked right there. And then you see the red arrow, that horrible red arrow. That's the direction of the water. So as I drove down this road, I saw this big bend, and I'd seen this bend on Google Earth, and I was like, man, I gotta go check that out. As I was driving, and the road is pretty high above the water. I'm driving downstream. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's a pool, there's a pool, there's a pool. And I'm like, man. And if you see the yellow line is where I got out of the car. I went across the river, and then I went upstream on the inside where there was a lot of sandbars. There was a couple of inches of water. I mean, it was easy. I just basically just walked right up that. And then I was just going to wade with the current down the middle of the river and hit that far bank, that outside bank. And so I got there, and when I first got in, it was a nice looking pool. It wasn't great looking. It didn't have as much depth as I wanted, but I thought, nah, it'll have. So I caught a smallmouth right off the bat on top water. They just not wanting to come. There he goes. Little one. I don't expect it. There are big ones in here, guys, but the bulk of them are going to be just like this, 10 to 12. Okay, there, fish. All right. Enough for your shenanigans. Yep, 10-incher. Ain't a pound yet, even though I call them pounders. If they're a little bit under, a little bit over a pound, that's a pounder. And I thought, man, this is going to be a good day. I'm going to get a Recon in, but I'm also going to catch fish, right? Not. So I went ahead and walked all the way up and then just started fishing down. I forgot to turn the camera on. Got a little one, about like the other one, maybe a little bit smaller. He hit the yellow and chartreuse deceiver, and I didn't break him off on the hook set. Cool. I got off. Picture in your mind, 10-inch smallmouth. Well, I spent half my time just wading down and seeing what first glance looks like a really good pull or run, but there wasn't enough depth and there wasn't any obstructions. There's no fish holding areas. A lot of this right here is just no holding water. There's just no depth to it. It's going fast. Gotta go find some good water. And I started fishing down it, and I was thinking, well, one of these is gonna be a good pool, right? No, I went through about 6, 7 runs, pools. None of them were any good, except for right where I got in, and I caught 2 fish right there, and that was it. And there went half my whole day gone. I'm done driven 3.5 hours, probably more like 4, to get there early that morning. Dang, water's too fast. There ain't enough depth over there. So I said, well, I got the rest of the day. This was about, I don't know, noon, 1 o'clock when I got out. I went looking around for other places, and no trespassing signs. See, this part, if you take a look at the picture, you see the state park property up there? Well, see, I was perfectly legal. There was no trespassing signs. I wasn't trespassing on anybody's property. I don't trespass. I don't care. I don't care what. I'm just not gonna. It's wrong. You know, it's not my land. I didn't pay for it. I don't have to pay taxes on it. Hey, if it's not, my father taught me when I was young. He said, if it's not yours, don't mess with it. Okay, guys, if it's not yours, don't mess with it. There's a lot of places that I could probably fish, but because people trespass on people's land, they just quit letting anyone fish it. That was a bust. So I went around looking and looking, wasted about 2 hours, you know, but I was marking stuff off the list. Okay, I can't fish this unless I'm in a canoe, because, you know, everything is no trespassing. And so I went to this other place. I was going to get out and do some serious fishing. I ain't got so much time. I've never fished this, so we'll see how it does. This looks a lot better than what I was fishing. A lot better. And there had been a thunderstorm upstream. Yes. And it rained on me. I got in the river, and I'm looking downstream trying to fish, and I'm like, man, I kicked up a lot of mud. I kicked up some mud, but I didn't kick up that much mud. It was turning dingy, and it had thunderstormed upstream, and the fish would do nothing. I could not get anything. So I tried for about 3 more hours and nothing. So last week was a bust. But I did learn some stuff, and I know some places I'm going to put in and float, and when I get trailer hitch situations sorted out. Almost didn't make this video, but I said, you know what? I hadn't done a story time in a while, and that one's pretty good. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and again, I just laugh about the whole thing. I have nothing against gay people at all. I just thought it was hilarious, and I was treated extremely well. There was no problems at all. It was, but I'm pretty sure the other guests were. Oh, that's that straight guy over there. You know, you just gotta love people. But that's it. Hey guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Wish I'd, caught 10 smallmouth and caught one 18 inches long. And, I wish, but you know what? You never know until you go, guys. Get out there. Get out there. Get on Google Earth. Go find some places. Go out there and try them. And go find yourself one of those special places that, not many people fish. And it's got big fish because it's got really good water. Unlike this right here. Thank you. And by the way, sometime I hope to see you on the water. Take care.